What's up? What's up? What's up? It's that time. It is episode 13, Planet Xbox podcast. We are back, and my good friend Gaming Addict is a bit under the weather. Right before the Destiny launch, we could not have afforded for that to happen. But
yeah, when I was at work, I was like, it would happen right now, wouldn't it?
yeah, the worst possible time, right? You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, it just looked like everything went silent. So we're a little short-handed here for the moment, but the rest of the cast should be joining in as the time goes. So since it's just me and my review pal, Gaming Addict here, we're going to start off by I'm going to ask you a question. What you've been playing this week? What's the last achievement you unlocked?
I haven't really been playing a whole lot of Xbox here lately. I've been playing Gigantic. I did unlock some Gigantic achievements.
Yeah, it's my last achievement. I think I got the achievement for like getting like a triple double. No, I think I got an achievement for hitting rank 10. In Gigantic. So loving that freaking game. Loving that game. Look out for the review of Gigantic that we'll be posting pretty soon. Shout out to the chat. Destiny 2, we're definitely anticipating Destiny 2. Like somebody said that you caught the Destiny flu, monkey D.
Yeah. I wish it was the Destiny flu because that wouldn't feel like shit.
Yeah, man. I wish I could catch the Destiny flu. Unfortunately, I have to be at work tomorrow, so I'll be up probably until maybe 2 o'clock in the morning to get something done because I don't want to miss out on the hype. Are we streaming that tonight?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. That would be awesome. Like, I don't know if any of you guys are here in like the New York, New Jersey area. It's heavily cloudy. I'm not sure if we're about to get a thunderstorm or a tornado. I don't know what it is, but so I'm just hoping we can get through this podcast without losing power. So one thing I want to talk about. So I think me and you, other than the other members of this podcast, are probably the only ones that will be playing Destiny, or at least getting Destiny, or have a little bit of hype for Destiny.
I think the rest of the panel kind of hates Destiny. No, but Panda, she plays Destiny.
Oh yeah, Panda. Yeah, isn't she married to a Destiny player? Or
yeah,
okay, gotcha.
She's married to someone in our clan.
Okay. All right. So before we get it started, we're gonna talk a little bit about Destiny before everybody else arrives. But I do want to make just let you guys know on a few other things. So over the next 5 weeks, if you're watching me, I'm pretty sure some of you guys watch, if not all, watch Weapon Wheel. So some of my Weapon Wheel panels members, some of my buddies from Weapon Wheel will be joining us on Planet Xbox over the next 5 weeks. So we will be having Jimmy B Gaming, Jack Move, Black Bond, Hard 8, BG, all between. Starting next week, it'll be one at a time. They'll be joining Planet Xbox. So from September 12th all the way until October 8th, we would have had everybody, from the Weapon Wheel on Planet Xbox. And I know we typically don't see Hard 8 on any other podcast but Weapon Wheel, but I am the best spot. I will get the done. I forgot, we can't cuss. And also want to give you guys a follow-up that Planet Xbox is also on the same network as Iron Lords podcast. It's our good buddies over here. That's where Gaming Addict's from. That's where our buddy Lord Cognito's from. We also share in the same network is Double XP podcast. That's Fame. That's Nicodemus. That's Mamacita. So shouts out to them. All of our it's like being on like an all-star record label. You got a bunch of stars there. So that feels great. So also, if you're following Tick podcast or Tick GN, there is a Patreon going on right now to help support that brand, where you can get exclusive Planet Xbox episodes that will be appearing there monthly, and it's gonna be a little bit of a different show, some different guests. You know what I mean? So if you're interested in that, you can check that out. But let's talk about actually, I do want to talk about Knack too. This is Planet Xbox But you know, I was playing Knack 2. It came out for the PlayStation. I think the meta score on Knack.
Whoever said Naruto Shippuden Strikers, Knack is better. You go do something else.
Knack 2. I played the first Knack. I enjoyed it. I think Knack 1 got like a 54 Metacritic score. I don't know why. I thought it was a pretty cool game. But a lot of people always seem invested into like characters and acting and connecting with people. Me personally, when it comes to games like Knack, I don't give a damn. As long as the game is cute, bright, shiny, and fun, I'm gonna love it. And Knack 2, so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I never was in love with the Knack character. It just his figure, his body, the character itself doesn't match the big tough black guy they got playing the actual little blocky figure. But it's a cute looking game. I like it. I enjoy it. Unfortunately, I probably won't be beating it anytime soon. I want to be able to put out a review, but Knack came out what 12 hours before Destiny 2, and then I got NBA Live and NBA 2K the week following. So I'm just gonna do whatever I can to get my hands on all these games while we're in September. Shout out to all those who are in Florida, and a shout out to those who are in Texas. I know you guys recovering for that crazy hurricane and all the flooding. Hope you guys all are safe. For those who are in Florida, I know you loved your home, but it's time to get out. It's not even made landfall yet. It's a Category 5. Get out. Come up north. Spend some time in the east, northeast. Get away from the hurricane, and let insurance take care of the rest. And be safe. So
yeah, if there's one place I would ever have insurance, it would definitely be in Florida.
Yeah, Florida, definitely. So this is to all those who are watching from Texas, from Florida. I know hurricane season kicking off. We want to make sure everybody's safe, and you know, wish you all the best. Be blessed, be safe. Now let's talk about what we're here for. We're here for Xbox and we're here for video games. Destiny 2. How are you feeling about this, man? How are you feeling? What is your mood? Do you feel like it's been like the wait is over? Like,
yeah, definitely. You know, I'm sure a lot of people in the comment section know I'm a big Destiny dude, and you know, I'm really looking forward to seeing what this story is going to be like. You know, Bungie has a bad time explaining anything when it comes to Destiny, but I'm hoping in Destiny 2 they get that better. You know, they don't necessarily have to have more content. They just have to explain the content they have better than they did in the first one.
Yeah. And speaking of Destiny 2, I wanted to put some of the beta gameplay in the background for us. But, man, you know what? The story, I guess I'm not going to pretend and say, you know, oh, I can't wait to hear the story that they got, because I didn't delve deep into Destiny 1. You've obviously did that. You've got damn near, I don't know, weeks worth as far as hours go into that game. I am
2,200 hours.
2,200 hours is completely unnecessary. I'm really looking forward to just diving into that multiplayer again. I enjoyed it. Was cool opening the early missions in the beta and whatnot, but with being in those multiplayer matches, it just felt like very comfortable. I think I found some grounding there. I can't wait to jump into that. But you know, it's going to be early. I think I can't wait to dive into the game just to get that co-op experience and whatnot. I want to know if Destiny's going to be that fun factor to keep me up all night. Like I said, I got to work tomorrow morning. Game comes out at 12:01 a.m. Shout out to those who got early review copies. We weren't blessed enough to get that.
Yeah, and it's not even really like people are like, oh, I got a review copy. Okay, like I can't play with my friends, so I mean, you over there playing by yourself, clicking your shoes together, like that means nothing to me.
Yeah, so but I want to know if it's gonna have that impact to keep me up. Now, if you guys looked at my YouTube channel a couple years ago when Destiny was coming out, I wasn't really feeling this game. I wasn't high on it. I think I boycotted it. I don't think I've naturally bought Destiny 1 with my own money. But I'm giving it a chance this year. Like I said, I do want to. A lot of my friends, a lot of my peers, who's been on it, spending hours. I hate going into parties. Everybody's playing Destiny, and I'm playing one game like live or something like that, and I can't participate in the fun that you guys are having. So this year, I'm hoping to change that and participate in some Destiny, and hopefully see if I can survive the grind and last long. You know what I mean? Because this is complete bandwagon for me. Like, this is complete bandwagon. So the excitement isn't fake. It's just complete bandwagon for me. Any see what they're saying in the chat.
They're going on and on about anime.
Anime. Oh, okay. Did something recently happen with anime?
Not really. I mean, there's been almost all the big anime shows are airing right now, and whoever said that Vegeta would totally destroy Sasuke, that's not even a fight. You guys are idiots.
Wasn't there like one, like, was it Frieza versus Batman or something like that? Somebody mentioned
Vegeta could kill the entire Naruto cast, like every one of them bitches, and he wouldn't even break a sweat. You can't compare Naruto characters. You can't really compare DBZ characters to anything.
Yeah.
They blow up planets with their finger. Like a finger. Just one finger. They have enough damage to blow up an entire planet.
Question. You want to, I think, what did Destiny 1's Metascore, I think...
77.
77? What do you think Destiny 2 will land at? Like,
82 to 85.
82 to 85, that's your prediction?
Yeah.
All right, no, I can agree with that. That's a safe choice. That's a safe... You know what's crazy, though? For a game that was perceived to be, like, you know... Like, I don't want to say... Because 77 isn't bad, but for the standards that they were setting, and how the game was being recepted when it first came out, you would think, you know, the game would be, like, somewhat dead on arrival, you know? But the game... It lasted. Obviously, it was. I felt like the review scores of Destiny did not tell really the whole story or impact its potential. And I feel like, is a game like Destiny, can you even review the game? Is it something that you can even rely on, the Metascore? How long? Because I don't think the Metascore is a proper representation of what the game you've gotten over the past 2.5 years or so.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, you know, they're coming into Destiny 2 with all the improvements they made from, you know, the entire duration of Destiny 1. So theoretically, you know, they've done the game down to casualize it. They have done that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's not as much options when it comes to class items, but, you know, I don't really care about that. It sucks, but at the same time, it's like I'm gonna play Trials regardless. But I'm looking forward to it. I am. And Xbox Shop, I'm sorry, I can't put you. I'm tempted to ban you, saying Naruto would lose against Vegeta. Like, I need to get off of this because I could literally go on a rant with these people right now.
Yeah, me, I would be completely lost because, you know, where I stand on anime and Dragon Ball Z. Even though I am looking forward to Dragon Ball Z fighters, I mean, I can name like the top 5 fighters in Dragon Ball Z, but that's about it. You know, my knowledge is pretty short there. I
would give you Itachi. Is the Sharingan. I don't think anyone in the DBZ universe has fought anything like the Mangekyo. I will give you that. But I mean, we'll see what happens with Destiny 2. I got my speculations. I have no clue. Normally, I could really kind of predict what their stories are going to be, but I have no clue what they're going to do now.
I mean, as far as we know that the main base, like what you call it, that got destroyed, or at least they showed in like the trailer. It's the reason that you don't have all the stuff that you gained in the first game with you. Do you think they're gonna do anything to make up for that? Like the person that, you know, that gives you all like your gifts and whatnot.
Well, apparently, I've been told down the grapevine that they have a completely different opening to people who play vanilla Destiny.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's true.
Okay. Oh, that would make sense. But then again, but the thing is, with Vanilla Destiny, you had the original Destiny, and then you got like the Taken King and all that other stuff. How, like, what if people who went and played Vanilla Destiny but didn't do the Taken King and whatnot? How would that impact? Do you think it's just something like, all right, just people play Destiny 1, so this is how it's gonna start, regardless if it's regardless of how much of Destiny 1 they played, or if they played the Taken King? And
well, there's Psycho.
Psycho Gamer is here. I think he's getting his mic
Psycho.
ready.
I'm good.
Psycho.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, how you doing, Psycho?
I'm good, man. How y'all doing?
I don't know much. We just started the show. We were talking about some of the announcements that's going on for the podcast, and obviously we're live a couple hours before Destiny 2 comes, and is that something that you're looking forward to or looking into, or will you be playing Destiny 2?
So Destiny, like, for me, I never liked the other. Sorry, I'm driving right now, but I never really liked the old Halos except for the story.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, Destiny looked and felt like Halo. Obviously, probably because it was a bunch. It is a Bungie game.
Yeah.
So I've never really been into Destiny simply because it's like a multiplayer only game.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. I'll check it out. I'll give every game a try, and so I'll test it out.
See, Destiny is not a game you can just try though. Like,
yeah, I mean, I know. I tried the first one and I just didn't like it. I thought, like I said, it feels the same as Halo, as the old Halos,
mm-hmm.
and so I just couldn't really get into it that much. But we'll see.
Okay. Now, other thing we're gonna talk about is the big elephant in the room is, like, this week, social media, went up. You're probably thinking one thing. I think I'm thinking the other thing. We're gonna talk about both, though, just to give you a heads up. I want to talk about the whole gaming journalists playing Cuphead, trying to get past the tutorial in the first stage, who was very unsuccessful in his attempts. This was cringeworthy in watching. And it's only bad because this person is supposed to be, prominent in the gaming community. He's working for whatever Venture Beat or whatever Game Beat, whatever. He's working for a website. You're playing games. This is potentially a game that you'll have to review, and you're playing the equivalent to what, like, a 5-year-old would do. And I'm pretty sure my son can probably do this easily. At least jump from block to block. There's been a lot of talk about this, a lot of conversation on this, not the Destiny, the Cuphead gameplay, and a lot of people got their opinions about it. I want to hear what you guys think about here.
What?
Of the gameplay, Cuphead.
What? Sorry,
Cuphead. His gameplay.
Yeah. Okay, let me say this first. Okay, look, this thing's gonna get me not sick. Is anyone in this comment section really surprised? Like, seriously, like, we got people that said games like Evolve was straight up trash because it was too hard. Like, but see, the thing I would worry about is, like, this dude could go on, he could give Cuphead a bad review because he just sucks at games, and it will bring its Metacritic down. So why do we even believe what Metacritic is?
I agree. That's one of the big problems, I think. One of the big problems in this gaming industry, I stopped looking at gaming reviews at like 13 or 14 because every game review I looked at, it was like I just didn't have the same, not every game, but most of them, I just didn't have the same opinion. And so I can stop going by reviews. But the problem is a lot of people do. A lot of people that are uninformed or who don't game as much or who doesn't have the gaming experience, they'll look at these reviews and really take them to heart. And so that's where I think it hurts the industry. And as far as, like, and I hate to bring this up, but it all falls back for me.
Wow.
Hello?
I'm sorry, man. I'm looking at this gameplay. This dude was bad. Like,
yeah,
really bad.
There is no excuse. There's no excuse to be that fucking bad. That's almost like you're reviewing cars or you review cars, but you can't get out of the fucking parking lot. Like, and you keep going in reverse, and you keep getting back in drive, and then hitting park. Like, you never make it out of the parking lot. How the fuck are you gonna review a car, and you can't get out of the parking lot? Like, or you can barely get out of the parking lot. Like, how am I supposed to trust your review? You know what I mean?
Look, I see people, coming at me over my Evolve comment. It wasn't the fact that, regardless what you feel about the game, it definitely died real quick. I mean, the game sold like 1.5 million on its opening launch. It was the fact that, it got old real quick, and people were giving it back. I mean, didn't Angry Joe say it was a bad game because it was too hard? Wasn't he the one that said that?
I don't know. A lot of people complained that it was too hard for instance, but honestly, I probably got a total of maybe 20 minutes in Evolve. I think
Evolve, regardless what you feel about it, I enjoyed Evolve, but it just got old quick. That's all. That's the only big thing. Evolve got old real quick.
It did. It was sad to see that happen. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the fact that the game was pretty much expensive or the enemy types. Because when you're what was it? There was like one when you're the one that's like being haunted. The monsters like this like one monster type that just like really just dominated everybody. Just like no like balance to it. And I don't know if that was for all the monster types, but I
remember back in the day, if you used the Wraith, it was GG already, but done. You killed everyone.
Yeah,
but that wasn't my point. Was the Evolve thing? It was people put too much emphasis in Metacritic when people like him can review a game, give it a bad score, and it brings the entire Metacritic score down.
Yeah, and that's a fair that's the worry about it. You gotta think about if a lot of these gamers, or not gamers, a lot of these journalists who are in the field of talking about games and they're reviewing games and they're giving you their educated opinion on these damn games, and you're taking this and you're judging it. People use these review scores and these complaints and whatnot as tokens. And you got to think about if these people aren't competent in playing some of these games, not even being good, but just competent, like hey, like, just the basic mechanics. Like, I mean, I won't walk around and say I'm the best at every game, but I'm competent in almost every game I play, unless it's an RTS. Like,
literally, like, I would put this reviewer from the gameplay I just saw a slight peg ahead of that chick at Comic-Con that played Crackdown.
Wait, no. But the thing,
all he knew he knew how to jump, but nothing else.
Yeah, but the girl that was at Comic-Con played Crackdown, she was asking for things to do, but at least she was performing. She was able to like shoot, probably not hit much of anything. She was able to jump and shoot and everything. She just needed assistance of what button did what. She just wasn't a gamer.
Imagine this dude playing Bloodborne, playing Dark Souls, and he reviews a game like that. Like, if he couldn't play Cuphead, the tutorial, this dude is giving Dark Souls like a 4 out of 10, saying it's bad gameplay mechanics.
Yeah, so
and just think about it. When this game comes out, if we never heard of this guy and the game came out, he would have been one of those guys that said the game is too hard. It's a terrible game. I couldn't get past such and such and such and such because of this or whatever. And it would have brought the score down, like you guys said. Like, and this shit happens a lot. And I hate to say this, but I just think people need to realize this. Like, it's a fucking hustle. Like, these gamers, like, they're journalists. A lot of them are. Don't get me wrong. There are some of these guys that are actually gamers and they actually like play the game and finish it before they review it. But a lot of them are fucking just journalists. And gaming is just something that they jump into, and it pays their bills. So that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? So they'll jump on the bandwagon and say that, put it like this, basically, a lot of these motherfuckers aren't gamers, man. They just aren't. And so they're out here, this is a job for them, and they're just playing games and doing their journalistic duty by, giving it every review score. But I don't think it's just for somebody like him who just played Cuphead, who doesn't know how to get past the fucking tutorial. So.
Yeah. Is it storming where you're at? Where you at?
Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm in Atlanta. And it is storming, so I'm trying to do the same thing and try to mute myself when I can. I'm not talking, but yeah, sorry about that. I'll be home in a few minutes. So
that's all right. So, but yeah, so that's been.
But hold on, just give me 1 second, kid. It's like Weapon Will said. If you don't know how to if you can't get past something simple like that in a platforming game, I can't remember who it said. Man, I hate to agree with stuff that Bond says, but I think Black Bond's the one that said it. Like, platforming is where you built your core mechanics for almost any kind of game you could think of. Like, especially if you're, 25 to 45, you literally grew up with platforming. So it's like, this dude is older than me and he can't platform for shit. Like, am I supposed to take him seriously? Like, really?
Yeah, it's true. Like, because platformers is pretty much, you came into gaming platforming. Most people come into games with platforming. You think Mario, you think Sonic, you think hell, plenty other games that platforming games and whatnot, from 2D all the way to 3D, that featured the same basic mechanics is prevalent throughout almost all platforming games to date. So, and yeah, it was cringeworthy, embarrassing, and it's only worse because he's in the industry.
All I know is if I was Microsoft and I saw that gameplay, I would go to my little list of people and be like, he ain't getting a review copy.
Yeah, but word on the street is Cuphead is going to be a difficult game, a challenging game, and I can't wait to try it out.
And he has every right to say this game's hard, but you can't do the tutorial and say this game's hard. Like,
yeah, when it prompts you to tell you exactly what to do and how to do it. So, I almost just can't wait to just stream the tutorial.
That couldn't find the settings.
Oh yeah, GameSpot. The amazing people that could not find the settings. Oh man, that's a whole complete other subject there. So one thing I want to talk about is that just a quick announcement. Players Unknown Battleground just hit 10 million.
But this game ain't gonna do shit on consoles. The 10 million on 10 PC million. Ain't doing nothing on consoles.
When did this game come out again?
Well, like 6 months ago.
And it's not even officially out. This is still a game preview. It's online only.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
It's online.
This game is. I would not be surprised if this game pops out and does like 2 million in the first month it's out.
Could this game snub Zelda for Game of the Year?
No.
You don't think?
No. It's unique, but Zelda was like. There's just something like Zelda was so immersive that like you got sidetracked. It gave me that Skyrim effect. Like you get sidetracked really easily.
Yeah, but like the thing is that look at games like Overwatch. You look at like the popularity.
See, but like people get mad on Overwatch, and it's like, look, like regardless how you feel about Overwatch. That game in 1 year became one of the biggest games in the gaming industry. Like, not just on consoles or PC, in the entire industry. It got its own con in 1 year. Because it was so big.
Yeah. I mean, I think... I say this. Strike while the iron's hot. The game's 10 million sold on PC, no console push, on Steam, no marketing. This is complete grassroots, word of mouth. It's the perfect example, right, of what Phil Spencer said about service-based games over like single player games. And I'm not trying to like get anybody upset or promote the idea that we don't need single player games, but we can't deny the fact how some service-based multiplayer that gets community involved games, that the importance of them and the popularity
sell
of them
better on Xbox than their most single player game does.
Now, I don't think this game's going to touch nowhere near as far as it sells on Xbox that is what it's doing on PC in the game preview mode. But I do think
no, I'm not. I'm just talking about for multiplayer versus single player on the Xbox console itself.
Yeah,
that's why I feel like this game really catches the essence of what Xbox Live is about.
Yeah, dude, that's why this game needs to come out this year, like literally, like on the Xbox game preview. I think it should launch literally November 7th. Xbox One X game preview goes in the same day or the day before, man.
I think the truth of the matter is, it's just it seems like a cheaply made game, but it's more profitable than, say, creating a big budget AAA game that somebody's going to play one time and be done with. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think he means by service-based games being what they are. Is they're more profitable for them because they don't put too much into them, but the return is great.
And then one of the biggest reasons Xbox hasn't found its next flagship title is because they keep trying to make that single player experience that doesn't really cater to the majority of the Xbox crowd.
Yeah,
right.
That is true. That is true.
It's okay to try to cater to a single player base, but not try to do only that. I mean, think about it. How many multiplayer games have they really come out with in the past 3 to 4 years? I mean, Sunset Overdrive, it's co-op, but it's not really co-op. It's like something. I hate when people put co-op on a box when it was like thrown together at the last minute.
Yeah.
I mean, Quantum Break, single player only. Recourse, single player only. It's like, I think that's one of the biggest differences between this generation and the last generation is Microsoft threw single player experiences in it, but they had more multiplayer experiences because that's what their crowd wants.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, from Xbox standpoint, the multiplayer lineup hasn't, really been that great. We, as far as anything like new, flagships would be considered Titanfall 1, Halo 5, a Forza game, and Gears. Sunset Overdrive, I really wouldn't count their multiplayer. It was more of a co-op, experience, and it is a tacked-on mode. If Sunset Overdrive was in a complete open world, let's interfere,
I think it could have possibly sold if it was a complete from beginning to end co-op experience from the story. I think it would have pushed way more units than it did.
Yeah,
because it's easier to sell a game to your friends that you could play with them.
Yeah.
I think Microsoft kind of lost its way in that instance. I think they got too caught up in what was being said online and not really catering to the crowd that kind of got them where they are. You know what I'm saying?
It's like I said, they're too focused on catering to the minority or the majority.
Right.
Yeah. So what happens is like a game I feel like it's not. I don't think it's the somebody said no. I'm a name drop. Black Bond was saying Xbox fans or fanboys are the reason why Xbox is getting such so-called games and why the fact that there's not being much done with exclusives and whatnot, and people are saying because Xbox fans care more about hardware than software, and then that is not true. If you think about the moves Microsoft has made, they've been moves that reaction moves made by Sony. So in the beginning, PlayStation had the independent development push, and then Xbox responded with the whole idea at Xbox and making sure they're a great platform for independent developers. And that's why we started getting a whole ton of indies, you know what I mean? And why some of these indies have been treated like AAA games or first or big exclusives and whatnot. And then Sony has the single player experiences, and we respond with a lot of single player games. Every new IP was a single player or a story based game. So I don't think that's a reaction or done at the request of Xbox fans or Xbox fanboys. It's just the request of the trends and what was selling and what was being done by PlayStation, and that was deemed successful. So that's my take on that.
I mean, you said that exactly right, though. I mean, it's the direct opposite of what he was saying. I mean, because the fanboy is going to buy because he's a fanboy or she's a fanboy, they're gonna buy what Microsoft puts out. You know what I mean? They're gonna buy that stuff. And the reason why, like you said, the reason why Microsoft wasn't, they kind of changed a little bit is because if they look at Sony's selling whatever, they're selling, millions upon millions more than what they are. So they're going to look at it and say, why is that happening? Sony's only pushing indies, and they're talking about power. You know what I mean? They're talking about resolution and indies. And so I feel like this is what we're getting right now is the effect of that. We're getting a more powerful system. Yep. And Microsoft's conference to me looked like a Sony conference last year. I mean, this year. I'm sorry. This year.
And when it comes down to it, it's like, look, like, people keep saying they're trying to close the gap. Like, look, they're not coming. They're not going to beat PlayStation this year. I do think that. Yeah. Nah, I do think the gap will be, a little bit smaller by the end of the generation.
Don't say that. I said that. And
I don't care. Like, here's the thing. There will be a certain time that there's no more gamers to go to the PlayStation, and those PlayStation people will want something else, so they'll get an Xbox. I mean, how often do you see the generation where it's completely one-sided to the entire end of the generation? Yeah. Look what happened last year. You got to a point where the 360 was tapped out. It hit the ceiling, and then them 360 people said they were going to PlayStation because they wanted something new, because they've been playing the same thing for 5-10 years.
Yeah.
They're never going to beat PlayStation. This generation, the moment they did that 2013, reveal, it was game over. The bad publicity let PlayStation get so far ahead. And, regardless what people make you seem to be, when you get to a point, and I see someone say PS2, the PS2 era was completely different. There was no real competition in the PS2 era at all. But when you get to a point in, the Xbox genre, it's just like, look, like, I just don't get the point. Like, okay, let me rephrase that. I was going to say something else. It's the first person out the gate wins. It just is. It's the mainstream hype thing. People don't know why they want something. They just want it. Look what happens to iPhone. iPhone 6 drops. Everyone wants an iPhone 6. It's the first person to do it. It's that hype train that in. The PS4 was the biggest hype train I think I've seen in gaming history. And,
that's very true.
Sony capitalized on that. It's like I've said from the start. It wasn't Xbox versus PlayStation. It was Xbox versus Sony's PR team, because them people need raises.
Look, I said that and I got crucified for it because
they're going to try to come at me too, but I don't care.
Yeah, I work in marketing, and I saw what was happening and how it was happening, and I knew exactly what it was. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure a lot of people did too. But it's like
it's like I said with the PS, the PS2. I see people saying, "Oh, this year." No, the PS4 and Xbox One are entirely different than the PS2 and its competition. What was technically the competition to the PS2? Was it the GameCube?
It's a combination of GameCube and Xbox. Worldwide, I think GameCube.
Well, Xbox came out at the very end of the generation.
No, the Xbox and GameCube came out the same day. Came out the same. I'm sorry, same at the same time. It was like a reverse.
You can't really count the first iteration of a new company coming into the gaming industry. Like, I don't even think it really.
It was definitely Dreamcast. They came out at around the same time.
Yeah, Dreamcast came out in like 99.
Months.
Yeah, so and PS2 was dominant. And let's be real here, PS2 got it had the games. It did, and it had way more games than the PS4 does. It had Square Enix on lock. I mean, let's be you could only get Kingdom Hearts there. You could only get Final Fantasy there. You could only get Tomb Raider. Was Tomb Raider on the competition?
No, Tomb Raider was only on Sega Saturn. And it was, yeah.
I mean, especially just Final Fantasies alone, because that's back when JRPGs was at its height. I mean, the fact that you could only get Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and the Final Fantasies only on the Sony brand meant a lot. You could get Final Fantasy on Nintendo, but after they did the PS1, you didn't see a lot of Final Fantasies on Nintendo for a long time, because they had a falling out because they wanted Nintendo to go to a CD ROM, but they said no, we're still going to stick with what they had.
Cartridges, basically.
So you know that's all I was saying. I was like, look, like there you know, who knows? For all I know, if Microsoft keeps this going that they doing now, where you know they ain't announcing anything, that's the part that kills me. People be acting like I seen someone try to say the word because I said, isn't it funny how the Xbox One has been at 30 million consoles for like a year and a half? And he said, well, if you take you know, 96,000 and times that by 12, that's it. I was like, dude, you're taking literally the worst month they've ever had and saying they made that they sold that every month. It's like, no, that's the only time they've never been on that chart for over 100,000. That's the only time they've never sold over 100,000. You can't take that and say they sold that for the rest of the year and last year, every month.
Yeah, the people are crazy. That when it comes to the sales of like the Xbox, they sit there and act like the Xbox One hasn't sold a single console like for months at a time. I'm like, wow, people must really live in a box. Or but hello Panda.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Jez wants you to invite him to the hangout.
I've been sending him invites, but it's his Google Hangouts isn't really fond of mobile phones, so
it is not.
But Jez, if you're listening, go to it'll give you two options on that screen. It'll give you two options. Hit the one that says log into Google Hangouts.
Yeah, or join a call. Yeah,
join a call. Yeah.
Or maybe let's see if I can call him. What's Jez's email? I can try to call him. I'm gonna put up some gameplay so I don't be revealing everybody's info. But while I do that, Panda, yeah, tell us. Are you excited for Destiny?
Absolutely.
When are you getting it? Like, are you gonna be like day one? Are you gonna be streaming tonight, or what's up?
I'm gonna try to stream for a little bit tonight, but I have to work really early in the morning. But yeah, I'll probably be streaming on either Twitch or Mixer, one of the two, for a little bit. But yeah, I'm super excited for it. I'll definitely be on tonight. I can't pass that up.
Okay, I got a question for you, Panda.
All
right. What are your thoughts on the Cuphead gameplay, and do you think you can do better?
Cuphead gameplay? What?
The Cuphead gameplay from the journalist. He was playing Cuphead and he like kind of failed hard. Like really bad. You didn't see it? It was like all over the internet.
Only today though, because I've been at work all day.
No, for like the last week.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm missing out on something then.
No, all right.
I've seen Cuphead gameplay, but I haven't seen the journalist gameplay.
All right. So, well, if you've seen like a gameplay of somebody like sucking really hard, it probably was the gameplay that everybody's been sharing for the dude from like I think he's from VentureBeat or something like that.
Then I might have seen it.
Yeah. I actually re-uploaded it to my channel like I think like last week or so of the gameplay. It was very horrible. Very horrible.
Yeah. I might have seen it then because I guess I just didn't know that it was a journalist, but yeah. Yeah. I don't even know what to say.
Dude, first time I saw it, it was me and a friend I gamed with, and we were already like a little tipsy already, and we were watching it. We were just finally got over. We started like cheering and clapping. Like it was hilarious. It was hilarious to me.
And let's say hello to Jez. What's up?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Let me make sure I got. Man, I tell you, a crazy setup. Oh my goodness. So what's everybody talking about?
All right. So we talked about Destiny 2. We talked about Cuphead. Or so much to the journalist from VentureBeat playing or trying to play Cuphead.
I gotcha. I saw that.
What are your thoughts?
So I watched that. I definitely was just wanted to jump in and just say, give me that controller. I can help you out with that. But Yeah, I know that he tried to defend himself by saying like the instructions weren't that clear, but I think it is definitely well known that a lot of these journalists and author and writers and stuff are not really the most the best type of players, and that can influence a review, and it definitely was kind of telling. That guy is a writer though in San Jose. I think Dean Takahashi. He wrote a really great book about like the console wars. I think it was called.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, it was a great book. I remember reading it. It was about how for Xbox fans, it's incredible because it shows how Microsoft listened and went after Sony for the in the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 era. And he wrote that, and he's a San Jose writer, and he works for VentureBeat, I assume. But yeah, that book called The Console Wars was really great, and he wrote that. That's why I saw his name before, and I was like, yeah, I didn't expect him to be a avid gamer, but yeah, it's definitely telling. These guys all probably writers first, and they just have an interest, but yeah, it was a little rough. But that game is supposed to be hard, but not that hard, I guess, in the tutorial.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm watching this, and I don't think I saw this.
It is definitely cringeworthy. I'm like, oh, when is he gonna do it? I'm like, oh, this is very cringy.
When Kid posted, I swear I was being trolled.
Yeah. Like, it was an air dash. You need to get an air dash. I don't know what he thought he was trying to do. He didn't even try to do double jumps. But also, too, I don't know.
How many times is dude going to try to jump up from, like, the very bottom of the platform before he realizes that shit's not going to fly?
Exactly. Yeah, it was pretty hilarious. And then once he figured it out that it was an air dash, then he's like, he couldn't get that either. And then he died like the first level.
It seems like he gave up on trying to do it legitly, and he was just trying to glitch through the structure. Like, because I'm like, why are you dashing into it? Like, clearly you're nowhere near the top of it.
Sure. Yeah. And the thing is, too, it's like typically they usually have representatives around there, especially when there's reviewers or people that are going to comment. They usually have a person there to kind of handhold so they don't get frustrated like that. And, and somebody should have helped him so he didn't do that. But again, they usually do that. And that's why I know people get very upset when they have those controlled environments for reviewers and stuff. And a lot of it is to kind of, I know they don't want whining and dining them, but to fly them out, like when they flew out people to like the Netherlands to go try, Skyrim or whatever like that. Or what was it? The Metal Gear Solid, when they took them all, and they treated them all. But again, in those environments, they usually have representatives that kind of work through the kinks to help their reviewers get the full experience. But you got to worry, when they have those people at other places, they're sitting in a room, locked in a room, and they just can't get through a level. They could give it a bad review, just going, this game is frustrating, I can't do it. I remember the Doom guy, he couldn't play with two sticks. He never looked up or down, and he was just like running around, and he was a reviewer. It was like, use two sticks. I remember the Doom coverage out there. So it definitely is, and it definitely adds not such great reliability on games. And games are so unique too, because they're not like movies where it's everybody's sitting in the seat and watching a movie, and they can develop an opinion on it. It has to do a lot with physical activity. Hence why VR games probably are the worst kind of things to review, because you put on a headset and throw up all over the place like, this game sucks. But meanwhile, somebody might like it. So it definitely is very, take all reviews with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
With all these big places, especially the ones that are getting paid for it, it's their job. They're definitely journalists first. They like to be considered that, though, at least.
Yeah. What's up, Dizzy for joining us? What's up? Thank you.
What's going on? What's going on?
How you doing? Dude, oh my God, your background sounds like amazing.
Does it sound amazing, or is it loud?
No, there's like no AC. Or
oh, okay. I was like, oh my God.
The heavy breathing.
I'm not hearing whatever this is. I mean, I can really do that, But no. Yeah, what's up? What's going on, people?
So we got a couple topics to come in. Did you want to chime in on anything that we said or that we talked about earlier today?
The only thing that I want to touch on the Cuphead thing is, I get that the guy wasn't great, and we could all see that the guy was not good at what he was doing. However, he's not the only individual to come across and say that this is a pretty hard game, and a lot of people that have played it at E3, they've expressed that as well. Like, it's a pretty difficult platformer. So if you're not good at platformers, you're probably going to be really terrible. I kind of I look at it as it being akin to somebody who's making the Super Mario levels. So if you're already having it, I apologize about that in the background. Somebody just left outside without him. So
right on schedule.
I akin it to somebody who has a Super Mario level that is super hard, or like a Super Meat Boy. Those are pretty difficult platformers themselves and everything. So just because you're bad doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to give it a bad score. What if you actually enjoyed it? You enjoyed that difficulty. Now, granted, I don't know where this guy's going to go with his scoring and everything. That's to be determined. So that's just my kind of like devil's advocate on the whole situation.
But there is no excuse to be that bad. Like, it's almost like you as a human being should know, like you should know certain things. And if something isn't working, you try something different. Like, he just tried to do the same thing over and over to get over this one block, even though the text was right there. Like, something should
absolutely,
tell you,
absolutely.
Try something different.
You should have some sort of skill level involved whenever you're going to be jumping in to play some of these games and everything. But, in my personal experience, I think that the closest thing that I would have to it is I love playing the old Mega Mans. I absolutely love them. Beating 1 through 6. I get to 8, 9, and 10. Those are some of the most difficult Mega Mans I've ever played in my life. You know, so an adjustment of what's going on in the surroundings, especially with an old school platformer. Chances are, what if this idiot was using a joystick, or like using his or not using the D-pad?
But the thing
using
is,
your thumbstick is much more difficult.
Right, and the thing is, like, if he reviewed this game, you listen to his damage control response, that's something that he probably would have put in the review. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't, whatever he said, it wasn't clear.
The tutorial wasn't clear, or the text.
And it was right there. You know what I mean? And so, shit like that, it just reiterates my whole philosophy on listening to these developers or even these big gaming sites, because they're paid to do this stuff. Like, it's their job to get ratings, to get views, or whatever. They're paid to do this stuff. And so I just take all that stuff with a grain of salt, because it's their job. They have to do it. It's not like something that they, like, for a lot of them, it's not something that they really, really want to do. And another example, like I said, about the settings button, even though it was like, at the time, it was like one or two button presses away, or probably one.
It was the menu button.
And they couldn't do it. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy to me. It's almost like, when I'm playing on PlayStation, it's like I don't know how to get to the home screen, even though it's one button to get to the home screen.
This is why, all right, it's our job, and maybe it's not our job. We don't have to do this. We're fans, we're gamers, we're consumers. But I feel like because of everything being so dumbed down, and that everybody's being, jumping into our community and casualizing the thing. And it's like everybody can like get away with like some of the silliest stuff, and I think it's really our jobs to really kind of like to combat that. You know what I mean? Because there's no way that I can't find settings on Xbox One from some of these professionals to be something that to deter somebody away from a console, or somebody not knowing how to jump from one block to another on Cuphead could deter somebody away from wanting to play Cuphead. So it's like, or the guy who was playing Doom, who had no business playing Doom, it's like, oh my god, that game looks very terrifying. I don't want to play that. It looks difficult. You know what I mean? It's like stuff like that. That can't happen, and it's happening because these are the big players. These are the people that have the push, the media push. Their word, their product is everywhere. Their word, their opinion their thoughts sell our games, you know, or break our games. You know what I mean? So if people are relying on what they say, whether it be a preview, whether it be a review, whether it be impressions, is that whatever they say, positive or negative, is going to leave a lasting impact on the people that are watching. And it did. You know, why else did we subscribe to Game Informer? Why else did we rush over to IGN as soon as embargoes lift? Like, you know, that's what we did. You know, we wanted to hear it. You got to
consider this dude was in that era where we weren't so connected to the internet. So, you know, if he was writing for something like Game Informer, chances are that was a lot of the only information you was getting back then.
He's an older guy. I know that. He's not like a Ryan or like a younger, like 25-year-old. He's an older guy. He writes for a newspaper in San Jose, I believe.
Oh man,
so
he is
something like that, right?
Yeah, it's Dean. What's his name? Who was it again? It was Dean
Takasaki.
Takasaki. Yeah, I'm telling you, he wrote that book. Takagaki. Yeah. He wrote that book. I'm telling you, you should read it. It brings back the good old days.
You know, all right. So let me stop being so hard, because you and Dizzy got me making me feel more bad for the guy than upset at the gameplay.
I'm going to tell you the problem. The issue is
I shouldn't feel bad or upset. The motherfucker should know how to play the game, man. He should know how to do the basics.
Or there should be somebody representative there to help him if he's struggling like that, so he doesn't capture that kind of gameplay.
This dude did a decent amount and then started, but he messed up on the first jump.
It's a tutorial.
The first jump. Like, in a community where, you know, we're very, you know, taking input and then lash out depending on what the input we saw. This dude should have known not to upload that footage. Like, he's been here long enough to know that some shit was gonna go south the moment he uploaded that.
It's really bad. Look at what his name did.
That's why I thought it was a troll.
Look at what Warren did. What's his name? From The Verge, where he posted his years of experience and everybody made fun of him for his gamer score. Like it's really like the internet is so like. Just think about it. That footage probably would have been edited to show that he made a perfect jump first time. if this was like, yeah, we got the raw footage of like the unedited cut.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's something going on in the comment section, because people are like sitting there losing their brain cells over the fact that Cuphead doesn't feature an online multiplayer. They don't understand that this game was made by like 2 or 3 people. That was hand drawn, and they're losing their mind because of a $20 game doesn't have co-op online. Now, here's the thing. Right, this is not damage control. It's like, I don't understand how. I understand, like, yes, we live in a online society, a connected society, in that we're in a day and an age where games are expected to have some sort of online functionality, you know, or some online capacity. But you got to think about it. Cuphead, at the end of the day, is an independent, like an independent studio made this game. Not even a studio, like 2 people, you know what I mean, made this game, and you're expecting this game to be online. It has couch multiplayer. There's a bunch of indie games that release over the past 2 weeks that does not feature online multiplayer. It features co-op. Say what?
Yeah, but
have you kept up with anything on this Rise and Grind?
What, Cuphead?
When did Rise and Grind come in?
A while ago.
Oh, you should have said something.
Back door sneaking in.
No, I don't know. I don't know nothing about it. That's why I'm chiming in right now. So y'all go ahead and continue.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna say this, Kids Move, and this is the time where I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this, man, because, and I put the blame. It has to be on somebody, and I'm gonna say Microsoft, because if you're going to pay for, you know, whatever exclusivity or whatever, like, help these guys, help them, because I
delay the game another year or 2. Okay.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, you know, if
it shouldn't be delayed. Get out of here. If it's so easy with their tools and Xbox Live, like, if it's that easy.
I get it. Come on. But let's be real here.
Talk about how easy it is for them.
Let's be real here. Like, you know, if you think that launching that with co-op is, you know, your best play, then cool. But let's be completely 100. Launching that with online multiplayer is way more efficient, and it's going to sell more than launching it with just local co-op. Who plays couch co-op anymore?
It's $20, dude. Do you guys? So pretty much what I'm getting here, it shouldn't have came with any type of co-op.
Whatever thing.
It shouldn't have came out with co-op at all.
Microsoft. Microsoft should help them because it's more of a software thing. Them having 3 or 4 employees or whatever it is, that's the drawing and all that
they're
stuff,
artists and
editing and all that.
programmers.
But the online stuff, that's Microsoft's wheelhouse right there. They should be able to help them get in there, send their guys in there, their ninjas or wherever it is, to go in there and help them make this game online multiplayer, because I thought it was.
Is this Microsoft's game? Does this game even belong to Microsoft?
I don't even think they need ninjas. They probably need a half a ninja.
You know this game is coming to Steam as well, right?
Go in there.
This
game
is
half a ninja will be fine.
This game is also coming to Steam. Nobody's I don't understand, why is that Microsoft's fault if this game is also coming to Steam?
Well, even if it's on Steam, like it should still be on Steam too, because I just don't get. It's like they having a Nintendo moment. It's like, when have you ever seen people like, yo, I'm going to my friend's house. We gonna play Cuphead. Who does that? Like,
nobody does that.
Nobody's going to do that. Like, it's the same thing with freaking iDarb. It didn't feature any online co-op.
And I feel like that's one of the main reasons.
That's why and that's why we're not talking about it today. Because of that,
I don't think I don't think I'm not the type that believes every game that launches should have.
But we're paying for Xbox Live to play online. Why are the exclusive games, the few that they have, not featuring the thing that I'm subscribing for?
Yeah, you're playing so you're paying for Xbox Live to play games online. Yes, but this is not an online game.
Yeah,
it could be an online game.
I won't step on that. I don't think just because you pay for a subscription, they need to put multiplayer and everything. But
why? They should. That's what they did last gen. Don Matrick ensured multiplayer was in this.
I just think the game would be better received if you could play with your friend online. That's all I'm saying. Like,
all right, so you think this game is going to sell 2 million more if it had the online co-op?
Maybe not 2 million more, but one thing I know is you have a better chance of getting people to pick a game up you could play.
Sunset Overdrive had an 8-player co-op.
Right. And Power Rangers should have had a co-op. The
Sid Meier's yeah. And Guns, Gore, and Cannoli should have had a co-op. It doesn't have it.
And think about how successful you think Castle Crashers would have been without 4-player co-op. And that was on 360. Remember Castle Crashers
by the guys that made Alien Hominid?
The Behemoth. Yeah. That was great 4-player co-op. Like, some games, the co-op is a nice feature. It's definitely something I look for. If somebody's in there,
is this
should have it.
This mode's not needed, but it would have been a better thing
I definitely understand the want for it, but the reaction to be this big over a game like Cuphead to not have online co-op, I just think it's a little bit like overboard. It's like, this is not like your big AAA game, that's just coming out.
It turned out to be, because there's nothing else.
No, I mean, it's still not a AAA. I mean,
it's still. I don't understand it's not AAA, but the thing is that even if they said it was a design choice, that this was a co-op game, it's fine. But then they go and say, well, we'll see how it goes, and we might add it in later. Sick of waiting. Who's going to be E3 announcement next year?
Maybe, but at the end of the day, I like how I just like how the focus shifts. Is that I can see now. I would understand this, because when people's like, who we should blame for it, should we blame Microsoft? Well, why blame Microsoft? I can understand if the Steam version had online co-op. I mean, who's gonna be doing couch co-op on a PC? Like, think about it. That's where I'm like, Xbox is a home console. Not everybody, some people are still playing hooked up to the TV in front of a couch.
Yeah, but I think we can all agree Steam doesn't need that game. Like, it's good Steam's getting it, but Microsoft kind of needs that game more than Steam does.
Well, I would say this: if it was
Gabe Newell's not running around with that game right now.
If it was just one character, and it's like kind of like a Mario or a Contra, where it's just one. Sorry, Contra has 2 characters, but if it was just one character, and he's shooting and doing the side scrolling, then cool. But every time they advertise this game, there's 2 people on there. They're both shooting it. I guess.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're very vague on that information.
I'm gonna be able to play this with my friends.
Yeah. Well.
And
they're very vague. There's gonna be a lot of casual people that buy into it because of the artwork, and they saw it promoted as a multiplayer game, and they're like, "Why can't I send people invites?" I guarantee you that's gonna happen a lot.
Well, this is why the game should have been on PlayStation.
They'll edit
because
later.
On PlayStation you have the share play, which would have been perfect for a game like that.
Hey, I just did that. Played FIFA. It worked awesome.
Actually, I just did play FIFA 16 that way.
I think we've hit this to the curb. People in the comment section are already getting tired of this.
Well, then start making up dumb excuses on Xbox. You should have this. People always looking for a reason to dislike a game that's heavily promoted.
It's not
on
no
Xbox.
one. It's not no one Oh my god.
Yeah.
Calm down.
It's not. Yeah. It's not dislike.
No,
it's
but that's what I get from the comment section. It's like, and because I'm saying the game doesn't need online multiplayer is considered damage control. I just don't understand how that logic works. It's not damage control. It's just like I don't think it needs it. Sure, it would have been fun to have it, but does it really need it? No, I don't think it's going to make a big difference. All right, you guys can talk. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm just saying that the game should have had it. That's all I'm saying.
And I don't like this waiting that they might edit in depending on how it goes. Like, that annoyed me. Like, if you're not going to put it in, don't put it in. That wasn't your design choice. But don't tease us going, you might edit in later. Like, come on. Like, if that's the case, edit in now. Microsoft, get the money, get the support for Xbox Live and get it on there. But, don't give us this, we're going to edit in later, this tease. And, like, same thing like how Ghost Recon did it. Where's that multiplayer, PvP? I'm sick of this, like, we're going to wait. Well, and you buy the game with the promises, and then what happens? When's it come out? Like, Ghost Recon did it with that PvP, and now we're going to wait for Cuphead multiplayer. Like, it's just...
I don't think Cuphead...
I don't like it. You're right. You don't need it. Like, it's not day one, like that thing. But the fact that, it should have been, if it's a design decision and they didn't want it, they think it's fun sitting next to each other.
Maybe the game was so far in development, it wasn't an option at the time.
Yeah. Well, I think we should send an email to ID at Xbox and every independent developer working on a game that has awesome multiplayer and make sure those games are going to feature online co-op.
I'm going to drop a question to you guys.
I'm done. I'm done with this topic.
Well, no, one question. Why do, like, the 360, when we had Xbox Live Arcade, Xbox Live Online was a big feature of that. Why with these Chris Chala ID at Xbox games, there's so many that do not use Xbox Live? What is going on?
Well, maybe it was a requirement back then.
Yeah, but
that's how they lost a lot of developers to PlayStation.
Because they made it required for
they
that
had
Xbox Live.
They had a lot of requirements that they said it wasn't developer friendly. So PlayStation can't welcome them with open arms. So Microsoft had to open themselves up and accept that games aren't going to go there first, or that it could be a year before games can come in. That games aren't going to launch to a multiplayer. So they had to do that to get developers back.
Man, not good news.
So hey, it is what it is. Like, everything is not like let's point out Microsoft. It's like, at the end of the day, I mean, I understand, but it's it's the way that we some of us look at things. Is like, Microsoft is not doing right, and I'm like, hey, there are some things that has been done, and reason why we had things a certain way during the 360 because there was a guideline people had to follow, and right now those guidelines aren't there anymore in order to win back the developers. Now, speaking of developers, a rumor came out, and I was not going to make a video or tweet or comment about this rumor only because the rumor didn't come from any place of any valid source. It came from a regular YouTuber like you and I, and it blew up. Now, I would have loved the publicity if I said something crazy, said something like this, but I didn't. So over the past week, Assassin's Creed Origins was rumored to get a 1080p 60 frames per second option on the Xbox One X, and this was reported by D-Batch. I think he does Xbox Beastfire and whatnot, but that was reported by him. He said that in one of his videos after he did some fan expo where they bring video games, the latest games to, like, it's like a little mini event like PAX or something like that for Canada in Toronto or something like that. So he said he spoke to the developer, and they said to him that they're working on a 1080p 60 frames per second option. People, when I heard the video, I was looking for links, I was looking for articles. There was not quite nothing. He was the only person that said it, but overnight it blew up. Articles caught to it. It made it to NeoGAF, N4G. It made it a lot of places, and it started. There was like a trend, and people were buying into it. People had to comment on it, and DualShockers finally reached out to Ubisoft to say, hey, you know, is this true? And Ubisoft came with their traditional PR stuff. And you can just take from their release or from their answer that no. They said the frame rate isn't finalized, but I don't know of one Assassin's Creed game that was 60 frames per second on any console. On PC, yeah, but on console, no. And they talked about something that they're using dynamic this to ensure the best quality across all platforms, visuals across all platforms, parity. In other words, there won't be a 1080p 60 frames per second option. And now, Kofi's doing his celebration live streams and telling people I told you so, because I think people were going at Kofi because Kofi's from Canada too, and he went to the fan expo, so he was like, he didn't see anything. He didn't see Assassin's Creed running on Xbox One X, and he didn't even see any Ubisoft devs there. So challenging what D-Batch said, and but a lot of people jumped on Kofi, and this is not the first time fellow Xbox gamers jumped on Kofi for his negligence. But so Kofi's obviously, he got another W over Xbox right now, and a lot of people are going around, saying how Xbox are spreading lies and misinformation, and we all know where the source came from. Some people bought into it. I didn't. I want to know what you guys think. What was your take? Did you buy into this rumor? Did you believe any second of it?
I didn't care because I'm not getting an X.
Yeah.
For me, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, man. You go.
I was going to say that I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, not saying that I don't really care about the whole, 1080p frames per second thing, but I just don't think that someone would go that far to lie. I think somebody told him that. And the reason why I say that is because I'm just a regular person, and I ran into somebody that's in the industry, and I got MPD numbers. We had a beer, and I got MPD numbers. I got, information on what happened at E3 in 2013, what happened in 2012. Like, I got a lot of information that I won't tell anybody who I got it from. And I'm just a regular person who had a beer with somebody that's in the industry. Mm-hmm. And we're still cool to this day. So that's the reason why I believe someone could have told him that.
I mean, he could have
imagined someone. Go ahead.
He could have misheard him. Miscommunication. It could be anything like that. I don't really know the man to really be like, calling him a liar or anything like that. Like, it don't really matter to me.
Yeah, I don't think he's making up stuff. I'm sure he heard it or heard somebody talking about it. And they do, sometimes they're devs, sometimes they're representatives, sometimes they're just sometimes they're people
just
that they hire.
For the day.
Yeah, I don't even know the game. I know I've been to PAX, and it's like, I know, they're like, oh yeah, there's the controller, go. And it's definitely, sometimes they wear the badges and they're exhibitors, but they're not any really part of the game. They'll send their representatives. So, they might have said something, or maybe we're looking into it and something like that. And I was listening to the podcast where he came back, and he was in the car coming back from it, and he said he had the news on that, and he said it. And, he was pretty excited. It didn't sound like that he was going to, I'm going to make this lie up, listen to me. So, I'm sure he heard about it. The thing is, if I didn't really believe it, because I think that it would hurt the whole 4K narrative that they're driving. If they start dropping 1080p modes, that's really going to hurt the marketing that they keep saying, the highest fidelity, and this 4K narrative that Microsoft is pushing, especially in the marketing of the of that game. They don't want to be hearing 1080p modes. They want to hear about 4K modes downsampled. So I think it would kind of hurt if that did come out. Maybe they do add it, but they could add it because it's a single player game, and they might have a high performance mode and a kind of a max settings mode. That's what I've been seeing in a lot of the pro games and stuff, where there's high performance, uncapped frame rate, or 60 frames, like a Hellblade has it and stuff. So I could definitely see it, but this 4K push that's going on, I don't think it's going to be in the forefront of any marketing.
See, now,
not the marketing, but go ahead.
No. I talk a lot, so go ahead.
No, I was gonna say not the marketing. I think if they did do it, I don't think they would put it in the marketing material. I think it's something that we would know. Us as gamers would know that, you know, we're going to go into the settings and we're going to go in and change the setting to 1080p 60 frames per second. I don't think that's something. I don't think it would be even smart for any company to go out there and put it inside of their marketing material if they did decide to do something like that.
Well, like a high performance mode, like again, in this whole like this push of power, it's rarely has not been focusing on frame rate at all. It's barely been focusing on fidelity, graphics, and resolution.
Right.
So, like I don't think, you're right. They probably won't like put it in any of the marketing material. But you know, if you're talking to the hardcore gamer, the person who cares about these kind of things, you gotta say that all these options are available, because that's kind of the benefit of having the power. Even giving the end user some choice, which they would prefer, you'll give them the option. You know, I think they would appreciate that. But now, again, it's really this push.
Is it now? Here's the thing. Now, how I looked at it was, D, like I don't have any problem with D, but he's known around here for various reasons. Now, do I think he just made up the story itself? No, I'm pretty sure somebody, because I've had conversations with developers. I had conversations with just people who are just working the stations at the point in time. I think he probably asked about that option to somebody that was literally hired for the day. Like literally that was just hired for that event, and they didn't know. They just said, oh yeah, they're working on that. You know what I mean? Because it was the easiest answer to get out of the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're probably, why not? Yeah, sure.
I wouldn't have like. It's to the point is that I don't think I would have like ran, and that's why I didn't run with it. And you guys know me, when I see something that promotes Xbox into a certain light, even if it's like half truth, but I find enough source with it, I would bring out the information, and then I'll find out I'm wrong later, like with Tomb Raider. But at least I had some like Digital Foundry. My shit came from Digital Foundry, so I was just like, I didn't expect that, you know. But the thing is, it's just like, it's unfortunate. But the thing is, it's like, I knew there was going to be, I was like, man, this better be right, because all the sites that were jumping on this, I was like, this could be either incredibly great for D, for him breaking this, or this is going to be really bad for the Xbox community.
Honestly, November is going to be a war zone. It is going to be a war zone with Digital Foundry, resolution. We're going to be hearing verbiage that we never even heard before, like this holiday, when people get hands on these games, start comparing pixels and dots and zooming in at 500% to show a shadow is sharper. It's going to be a disaster. I don't even know where to begin. It's going to be the good for Xbox people, then it's going to be bad for Xbox people. It's going to be good for PlayStation. It's going to be a friggin' horror show.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun times. I might call up Zaire and ask to get to be a part of the Bang Bang group, because that's where I feel that's where all this stuff with Bang Bang, Next Gen Gamers, and Gaming Battlegrounds was like freaking war zone with screenshots back in early 2014 of Digital Foundry comparisons, because I want to see it again. I want to see the turnaround, you know. So like I don't mind seeing that. Like,
the problem is the narrative has changed already.
It changed from changed down the games.
It's not about resolution no more.
It's no longer about that. How convenient.
It's all about the games now. Like, it's crazy, man.
How convenient. But
I said this shit was going to happen.
It's like, funny though.
I said this shit was going to happen a long time ago. I was like, look, at some point, Microsoft's going to come out with a better system, and all of this whole shit is going to flip. It's going to be all about the games all of a sudden. And no doubt, as soon as the Scorpio was announced, all these motherfuckers, including your boy, including Hard 8, I don't know if he's in the chat or not, but including him, he was on that bandwagon or feeding the console war with the whole 900p, 1080p. Yeah. And now he like, fuck the resolution. It's all about the games. It's always been about the games.
Everybody in this community is guilty of it, because all the people I'm associating with now, I've seen videos, Facebook posts, Twitter posts of them bashing the Xbox One for lower resolutions or for being the weaker console. It wasn't they bashing it for being a weaker console and the most expensive. They were bashing it for being the weaker console. When it was all about games, it was all about the resolution there or performance. The third party's games play better here. Like, no, Madden plays better. Grand Theft Auto, the grass. You know what I mean? Like, you see, it was those stuff was prevalent to our peers then. but it's no longer prevalent now? Did their eyes just get adjusted? Like does like
at the perfect time?
I can
like
vouch
the
for you
perfect
on
time?
that one. I can vouch for you on that
Yeah,
one.
you know what? I haven't seen the term glorious 4K in a long time. I remember everything was glorious 1080p. Glorious
Yes.
1080p.
Heck,
Glorious
But I
900p.
I've had
Yeah.
people tell me
Yeah, glorious 1080p.
I had people tell me that they were fine with 900p games on PlayStation as long as the game was 720 on Xbox.
Oh,
I was like, what?
Crazy.
What? Oh, okay.
They can get tucked into bed at night. This resolution thing became such a dick measuring contest. It's insane. Like it's insane how it's just done.
Believe it or not, you got people out here saying that never happened. You got people out here literally saying, "What resolution?" We never talked about resolution. It was always about the game.
Well, the biggest problem with the resolution thing was that they were equally priced back then, and it was the start of the generation, and they were equally priced. So people are like, well, why pay $400 for a console that's underperforming, even it's by a couple of 200, 100, and whatever something P's, and the other one is the same price doing this kind of P. So, but now the thing is, let me tell you what I say to people who say that. Okay. I just think it's a bunch of bullshit. And I've heard a lot of people say, or a couple of people say that. And the reason why I think it's bullshit is because if it's about the resolution, it's about the resolution. If it's about the games, it's about the games. And for me, it's always been about the game. You're not going to ever hear me say in the beginning of the generation, I cared about the graphics. And like you wanted 900. Yeah,
dude, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell people, I want people to
I've always cared about that.
Stop lying. Why is it now nobody cares about graphics? I cared about graphics when they stopped being 2D. Once games were 3D and they were comparing things to real life, I cared about graphics. I started caring about the graphical leap. Every time a new console comes out, I don't care a new God of War, a new Halo comes out. I care what they look like. That's the big point of these upgrades. Otherwise, why else am I upgrading for? If I know my console right now has games, you know what I mean? My console before these ones had tons of games, but I'm upgrading because you know what was upgrading? The visuals. The games look better. The games look better. That's like the features. How does that get thrown out the window? So people gonna be telling me, oh, I want a PlayStation 5 because they're gonna have games. No, you want a PlayStation 5 because the games are gonna look better than the PlayStation 4, much better. Like what?
Preach. I'm with you on that one.
I don't understand how people can now, because people are completely throwing graphics and resolution and stuff all out the window now. Like they no longer care. So I'm like, all right. So when the next generation of systems come pouring in, I better not see you upgrade because they ain't gonna have no games at the beginning. It's only gonna be about 7 games that launch with them.
For me, it's both. So I knew Rise looked great, even though it was a 900p game.
Yeah, I care less.
To me, it's about both. It's about having the upgrade with the graphics, but it's ultimately for me it's about the combination of the two, the graphics and the games. And I felt like the Xbox had the graphics, the upgraded graphics from a 360, and it had the game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like the resolution. Yep. For me, the resolution wasn't that big. It wasn't that big of a difference. And I played same games on the same TV on because I bought all these consoles day one, or both of them on day one, and the difference wasn't something that was really noticeable. And so, as far as the resolution is concerned, again, resolution isn't the same thing as the graphics. You know what I mean? And so, for me, when I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, I got Rise, I got Killer Instinct, I got Dead Rising, and I got Forza. And on my other console, I got Knack and I got Killzone.
Yeah,
I'm going to the Xbox because the graphics look good and the games are there. So that's why I'm fucking with the Xbox instead of the PlayStation. You know what I mean? And so for me, it's that kind of situation for me. It's mainly about the games and the graphics too, but
because that resolution thing
better games for the past
didn't happen until like later on. Like the resolution thing wasn't up front. Like those games are great at launch. Like they really showed off the power of that Xbox.
They look beautiful.
Yeah. I know it's really great. But then all of a sudden they started talking about that 1080p and all that other stuff, and then all of a sudden it was about the multiplats because that's all that was kind of driving the narrative of the justification. Because I remember people saying, "Why are you even buying a PlayStation? There's no games on it." Like they're like, "Oh, well, we got the better resolution."
Remember the highest rated game on PlayStation at launch was Flower, which was a PlayStation 3 game as well.
Oh, Resogun. It was Resogun. One of the first ones. There was nothing.
There was, and I remember like there was like
crazy.
Resogun and
Let's
and
be
what was
real
the other
here. The
one?
resolution thing started because you just got a bunch of people who act like sheep that follow the, you know, the
Of course.
Justifying the
IGN, follow
purchase.
what Heartache and all them say that you know, if you see, I mean, look at thumbnails from IGN. You know, they literally made a thumbnail promoting the console war, like a legit
Yes.
thumbnail.
The
Resolution
980p,
gate
yeah.
was real.
980.
It was prevalent. It weighed on people's decisions. People bought consoles because of it, dude. I will not say, I'm not gonna sit there and pretend resolution did not have an impact on gaming at the start of this generation. A lot of people are now putting that price. But
I don't think
what?
it was at launch though.
The
I think it
Xbox
was a
One,
couple months
no, because
after.
resolution gate started in September of 2013. Ever since Call of Duty Ghost was rumored to be 720p on Xbox
that's
One,
what. Yep.
and like 1080p on PlayStation. Then Battlefield, like it was a wreck.
I'll tell y'all how it all started though. Real talk. What happened was people started comparing the specs of the games, of the consoles. So now they said, then it started out like, look, this game won't be able to do this. Then the performance, I wouldn't say performance, but the look of the game came into play. It was like the game was, a game would be 900p on Xbox and then 1080p on, PlayStation. So then they started to say like, oh, this game it can't even perform well because there's low specs. Yeah. That's where
not that it can't perform well. It was that this game cannot.
Yeah, not to say perform.
Yeah, but it did start. It started when they chose what RAM they selected. Yeah. When like Sony went with the higher, faster RAM, and then Microsoft did. Yes.
Did you notice someone's bringing up in the comment section about the 4 Titan power thing? The cloud is equivalent to 4 Titans.
But look, the 1080p, for all it's worth, was a marketing term. People like casuals knew 1080p. They know that word. That they know that, right? They bought 1080p TV, so they know it's 1080p. And when they, like for instance, I went to GameStop and somebody doesn't know who I am, doesn't know I know about games or whatever. And it's like, you don't want to buy it on this system because you want to get on the PS4 because the Xbox can't do 1080p. You know what I'm saying? And so that term right there, and imagine that person talking to the moms and the grandmothers and the fathers, people that are coming to that store asking about consoles and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And so that marketing term, the 1080p, Sony hit that shit hard, which is great for them. Like I said earlier, that their marketing team was genius in that, and putting that out. And so, like I said, like hitting that 1080p marketing term, like really screwed up with Microsoft.
But if the issue though is that if Microsoft is really pushing that they got the best looking games on the Xbox One X, they are really, really undermining that we still have to deal with the Xbox One S still with the 900p and all that other stuff. So it's really, I like to see how this X is really going to affect the sales of the S. Phil says that he thinks the S is going to be the big seller because of price point, and probably will be to casuals. But if it has this notion of being the underpowered system out of the whole group of even PlayStation and everything, this narrative of we got the most power, it's like, yeah, we got the most power. You're paying for it at $500, but we also have the worst performing system too. It has a Blu-ray UHD Blu-ray player if you like that, but it plays all the games the worst out of all of them at the lower resolution. So if you care about it, you're going to have to pay. That's kind of like it's hurting it. It's going to hurt the S.
It's going to affect it even with the X too, because not all games are going to be able to hit 4K.
Yeah, that's it.
And then as soon as it's not going to be able to hit 4K, people are going to say, look, they said, it's supposed to be
that hunted game.
It's supposed to be a true high fidelity game, but it can't even do 4K. So no matter what, it's a lose-lose.
It all depends on how Microsoft markets whatever they're putting out. It all depends on that, man. People, like you said, people are sheep.
At the end of the day, what has to happen is that they're guaranteeing that all games will run best on the Xbox One X compared to
and worst on the S. hey, I'm just saying that's what it is. Worst on the S, best on the X.
That's what it is, but nobody's going to catch on to that. I'm sorry, Panda. Go ahead.
But okay, so I've played a lot of games that have great resolution, great graphics. And I've played a lot of games that have really poor resolution and poor graphics. And I can see where resolution can be a big thing for a lot of people. But I've played a lot of, like, most of the games I've played that I really, really enjoy, they're the lower resolution, you know, not that great of graphics. And they ended up being really good games. And I mean, I don't see, in my personal opinion, where the resolution and the graphics are super important, but I can see where it can be for other people. Because it's nice to look at.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I always said that it's not a big deal, but it is a deal. Like it does affect.
It affects.
I mean, let's be real here. One of the biggest.
People want to feel like they're buying the best.
One of the biggest Game of the Year contenders right now, 720p.
Look, y'all, people want to feel like they're buying the best, right? And if you tell them that they're buying the best, they're going to try to get the best.
Right.
And so if you say, you know, like for instance, right now in the industry that I'm in, 4K, just like in a lot of other industries, 4K is all the rage right now. You know, the 4K is the standard. And so when people talk about, hey, what kind of TV do you have now? It's like, you know, if you say you got a 4K TV, everybody looks at you like, whoa, this motherfucker, like he really went for it. And just like I've been saying, like.
Oh, I guess Zelda's 900p. I thought it was 720p.
It's yeah,
it's 1080p docked.
I thought it was 720p mobile and then 900p docked.
Oh, I thought it was 1080p docked. I thought they added an update. I thought to it to make it 1080p. Maybe not. I don't know.
I can tell you that Zelda's Game of the Year right now. So
that Nintendo Switch screen at 720p looks incredible. I'll tell you,
that's
a 720p screen.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yep.
Yep.
Looks great. The contrast. Yeah, exactly.
You especially play on a 4K
see, it's
TV.
720 handheld. I don't play it docked in 900p docked.
Yeah,
but it's the resolution thing, and you're right. It is going to be a tough sell because not every game is going to hit the 4K or hit the you know, might checkerboard and might have dynamic resolution, and it's going to be a battle for every single game. Games we never even cared to even talk about, like the Hunted game. I would, you know, that kind of thing. And it's like, now that's news because, you know, it's not, the guy said 900p on Xbox One X, and everyone's like, damn you, you're not using the power. It's like, oh my God.
Oh yeah. That should have been a topic, but we gonna have to get out of here soon. My only suggestion with that is, I'm going to assume they don't have a Xbox One X dev kit.
They don't.
So
yeah.
And
probably, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just curious to see what the Xbox One X console does to that game itself. Because remember, with the Xbox One does like improve games that haven't been optimized for it. So we'll see.
Load times. It's load times. It's not going to make better textures. It'll probably load times.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, we're having a storm over here, and I just cut off.
Yeah, you did. It's like you got sniped out. But you got anything to say? Because we're like going in like overtime when it.
Okay, no, I'm good.
Get us out of here because I know, you know, people gotta get some rest. My boy Attic is sick. I gotta prepare for Destiny 2, and I want to play some more Gigantic. If you guys have not played Gigantic, download it. It's a free to play on your Xbox One. Wonderful game. If you want some real gamers to play with, you follow Kid Smooth and Gaming Addict here. We are pretty good at the game at what we do, so download Gigantic, give it a chance. It's by Motiga Games, most underrated game available on Xbox One.
He means pretty good as in I carry, kid.
You don't carry me. I had 18 assists one game.
18 assists? Who had the kill?
That means 18 people stole my kill.
Okay.
So,
like, I don't get how you use an assist to establish your dominance over me on Gigantic.
It's not all about the kills. It's all about everything else you do. I am the best MK20. Never mind. Anyway, but yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to episode 13 of Planet Xbox. Make sure you check back here next Tuesday. If you missed the episode, you can check us out on iTunes and SoundCloud. If you're watching on Mixer, thank you for watching. To those who are watching on Mixer and to those who are watching on YouTube, thank you for supporting the Planet Xbox podcast. And I'm gonna let my we got like a full house tonight, but I'm gonna let you guys say your goodbyes and your hellos so we can log out. Rising Ryan, welcome back to YouTube. I want you to go first.
All right, y'all. All right, peace. Have a good one. Short and simple.
Yeah, you don't really have any links, but I'll go. Definitely. You know, me and Kid are gonna be streaming Destiny 2 tonight, so you know, Gigantic's debatable, but I will be carrying Kid Smooth through Destiny 2. So definitely come in and join those streams. You know, join my stream, not Kid's. But I would want to say I'm gonna pop in my my channel in the description. Go sub to me, man. I'm close to 1,000 subs. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, please, Gaming Addict. What, 20 away from 1,000?
It's like 30.
Oh, okay, close enough. And Panda, we didn't do Panda's Pop. Maybe you have a short Panda's Pop on your outro. Actually, that's not the wrong name. It's Pandemonium. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't really have too much to talk about. I'm just ready for Destiny 2. Yeah. But yeah, you guys can go and follow me on Twitter. I'm gonna start trying to post a little bit more. I'll probably be streaming later tonight as well on either Twitch or Mixer, one of the two. But yeah.
Look at this D-Web dude trying to say that we do nothing but insult the views in our streams.
No, we don't do that.
Stop being bitch boys, and I'll stop talking shit about you. That's all I'm gonna say, though.
Attic, I have to edit that out on the Tick archive. You're making me work. And Dizzy, Arkman Dizzy. That should be your new name. Not iDizzy, Arkman Dizzy.
No. See, I go by AKA the Hubba Bubba of Ark.
The Hubba Bubba of Ark. What about Arkman Common?
It's the only name on Ark that I use.
Hubba Bubba.
Hubba Bubba. Almost like the bubble gum.
Dude, it's like a tongue twister.
Anybody win an Xbox One X from Taco Bell yet?
No, but do you have a code?
No, I was in front of Taco Bell now. I was going to do it live.
Oh, dude, let's do it live and buy an extra box for me.
Yeah, I'll buy an extra box for you. Well, the cops are here. I don't know. I think somebody won.
You can get the Hershey squares with you.
Yeah, I don't know if I need that. That's why I'm debating about it. I'm just waiting for people to pull out of there, and I'm just going to like stop their car and just like say, give me your Xbox game code.
Give me your code.
Just pull up in front of the drive-thru.
That would be something interesting to actually see pop up on the news, and that'll be another
robbed for the Taco Bell box, and doesn't even win.
Now gamers are robbing other gamers for codes.
Look, I don't know.
I can guarantee.
Not even guaranteed to win.
I go in Taco Bell and just and demand them give me all their boxes. Keep your tacos. Give me your box. Give me the box.
They'll flag all those codes and be like, if someone shows up with these codes and they win, arrest them.
Box of napkins. Yeah, there's all cops around Taco Bell. I was gonna come get one, but I don't know what.
Somebody got robbed for their box.
Yeah, I think so, man. I just see them ran across the street with all the boxes.
Psycho Gamer.
All those codes.
Yo, this is Psycho. Follow me on Twitter.
That's what it is. All right, guys.
Yeah, this is Jez7780 on Twitter. Follow me there. Sorry, I talked about Taco Bell.
You forgot your plug. All right, and this is Kid Smooth. Next week we should have Jimmy B Gaming joining us, and we'll be talking to you guys next week. We're probably going to be talking a lot about Destiny and a whole lot of other stuff. All right, this is Kid Smooth. Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We are out of here.